Name's Jake. Welcome to my world.
2, 1. I'm standing outside Groom Lake at the edge of what is rumored to be a top-secret Air Force base, although the government has denied its existence. For some reason, air activity and radio traffic in the area is at its highest in recent memory, leading to speculation that the government hovers above.
When I was a kid, I loved to blow things up. Plastic items are my favorite. The year is 2026 and I've changed. A little. I'm a Special Task Force Marine in the Explosive Division, much to my wife's disapproval. Only now I defuse bombs before they blow my brains out. What a rush. I received a call early this morning for my next mission. I hate being woken up before noon. See, it's your standard defuse and run, only this time the explosives aren't going to be popped in any ordinary building. They're in a classified place where the government hides anything that might disturb the average Joe. I know a little about it because my father worked there until his death 13 years ago. He died in a plane crash on the way to work along with other scientists. Or so they said. I was only 9 when it happened. The strange thing is that 2 days ago I received a phone call from a man who refused to tell me his name. He told me he was a friend of my father's and that soon I'd be learning more about his death. The next day I was assigned to this top-secret mission inside a place called Area 51. Okay, let's go. All right, who's having fun? Okay, let's go. Will you read the instructions? There are things I like about my job and things I don't.
I hope you had your beauty sleep, Private, because you need it.
What's the situation, sir?
A scientist has placed major explosives on the first 2 levels of the base. He's threatening to blow them up if we don't meet his demands. Your mission is to defuse these bombs. If you look at files, talk to anyone, or even go to the bathroom before you defuse these bombs, I will take one of these explosives and shove it right up your...
I understand, sir.
You must avoid being seen by any flying security cameras in the base. If they spot you, the scientific blow is out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. You trying to keep something in or out? Hey, what's with the escort service?
This is Marine Commander Black Dawn. He and his men are going to clean things up after you complete your mission. You will contact me and let me know after you defuse the explosives. Understood?
Yes, sir.
What's your major malfunction, Private? Say it like a Marine.
Yes, sir.
Move out!
It's showtime.
Welcome back to another Gaming Memories video. Here we are taking a look at a game called Broken Helix that was actually released on the PlayStation in 1997. Now I do remember actually seeing this game. I remember like in the game stores when I used to go shopping a couple of times during the year when I go actually looking to buy a couple of games, and usually in most of the game stores there was in particular the actual game store in Dublin, it used to be called Game. It actually had a load of these type of games on display, and I do actually remember seeing this quite often. Every time I could actually go into it, I'd always have a look at it, and it did look intriguing, but again I was always usually interested in buying other types of games, so I never actually got round to actually buying this at the time, so I didn't really know much about it. if I'll be honest, this is actually the first time I've actually gotten the chance to play it. But that's my goal with this channel, is literally to not only replay old classics and re-explore them, but also to get to play other games like this here that I never got the chance to play. So this is a perfect opportunity to literally get stuck in and see what they're all about. So straight off the bat, actually, graphically, the graphics are actually okay. From what I have read, I did a bit of digging and I was looking into reviews of the game. The game did get a lot of mixed reviews from what I was able to find out, but they said that it actually has a lot of plot twists and other elements that actually do make for an actually good game, because you can have 4 different endings, but your choices can be made kind of in real time, and depending on what you actually interact with can actually determine the outcomes later on in the game. So if you lock up a certain area or you open a certain area, it can determine whether you can get back into that area or not later on. And even as of here, I didn't realise when I first actually played it that if you go outright and kill certain enemies, you can't actually get items from them. There's specific items that you can actually get, like say keys for doors and so forth, and you need to stun them in order to take the items from them. And if you don't do that, you lose access to all that, which means you can't really progress in that particular area. So it does kind of leave you stuck. So that actually does add to the element of the game, which in a lot of ways it's actually kind of unique for that type of game for that time period, because it was something that wasn't really kind of explored. From what I have read in the reviews, said the ideas for it were really good, but it wasn't executed as well. But from what I've played of it so far, I could probably relate to it in some way, but from the little bit of time that I actually have played it, I actually was enjoying it. But the controls can be a little bit fiddly, and it is kind of hard to know really what to do. But I would actually have to spend a lot more time with it to really kind of figure it out. But from what I have played of it, it actually was quite good. The one thing that straight away was recognisable was the voiceover of the main character, which is from Bruce Campbell. If you've ever watched the Evil Dead movies, or even played the Evil Dead games on like the PS1 and PS2 respectively, you'll notice that he does the similar voiceovers, and you can tell straight away because I recognise the sense of humour and the one-liners and so forth. It's very, very similar to those games, so it was instantly recognisable. So that was a fun kind of aspect of the game, because I pretty much recognised it straight away. So I went online and I actually checked to see if it was right, and it actually was. It was confirmed that it was right, so I was like, right, that's pretty cool. So that in itself is probably an excuse to play it anyway. So if we're going back to the game, there is kind of like a lot of plot twists and so forth from what I've been able to kind of figure out. Now I'm only just playing kind of through the first level, so this is recording just on the first couple of playthroughs that I had. I was just trying to figure everything out. I didn't really get too far, if I'll be totally honest, because it is kind of a bit daunting, and it does kind of not really give you a full idea of certain things that you're supposed to do in a given time, and it can be very distracting and a bit overwhelming, I will admit, when you're trying to play it. But so far from what I have been able to play of it, once you make sense of it, it's actually not a bad game. I suppose it could have been better, as like say with regards to some of the magazine stuff, reviews and articles that I've read. But again, for the time frame, the one thing about the PlayStation is as well is there were limitations on the hardware and the software, so to be able to do things like this here is actually a testament to what was possible. Because again, a lot of these games, in my opinion, there was a lot of experimentational phases where developers were trying different things in regards to stories and how certain things worked, and they didn't always get everything right, but you could see what they were trying to do. So it is actually worthwhile to actually have a look at them anyway, because you can see these type of elements in future games and different genres and so forth, and they've tried the different things and they've actually made them better. But it is interesting to go back to these type of games and explore them and see what they're all about, because they are interesting, and it is interesting to see the concepts, and you can clearly see their ideas and the way that they were thinking. So now I'll be honest, I never really got too far into playing this game. I got so far through the first level and I just kind of got stuck. I didn't kind of know really what to do. It is one of those games I will have to actually sit down and actually play a bit more to try and figure out. because it can be a bit confusing at times from what I've been able to see from playing it. The controls are actually okay. It can be a little bit fiddly trying to figure out which buttons to press to make sure that you don't accidentally kill someone. Like if you jump on someone or jump on item or enemies and stuff, you'll actually kill them. So you want to make sure that you actually take the items that you need from them first off before you actually decide whether you want to kill them or not, because even if you do kill someone, it can affect your choices later on in the game. So that it actually plays a massive role. So there's a load of like kind of like unique features in the game, which is pretty cool. And there's definitely a lot of exploration elements, and you unlock different areas and so forth as you go along. And again, pretty much everything that you do in the game has some sort of effect on you, if not at that point in time, but definitely later on in the game, from what I've been able to see so far. And even that's adamant, even from the first level that I've actually played, you can see there's certain things like I did play one round before this, and I made the mistake of killing some of the scientists, and I didn't realise that you had to actually stun them first to take like keys off them. And what actually happened was then you couldn't get access to anything, so I couldn't unlock anything, so you were kind of stuck then. So I didn't really know what to do next. So again, I had to start a new game up again. It's only then as I played through it a few times it started to kind of make sense. So it is one of those games that if you haven't played it already, you will need to actually go through it quite a few times just to kind of get to grips with what's going on. But again, it's an interesting concept, and it definitely is an interesting game that is worth looking into a lot more. Because at the time, this game, even though graphically and with the gameplay style, like I mentioned, may not be as good as some other games out there, but you can really see the concepts that they were trying to experiment with and trying to achieve. So it is interesting, and it's definitely, I think, a game that is worth exploring a lot more into the future. Plus it has a load of sci-fi elements as well, so if you're into that type of stuff as well, this here would actually be a good game for you to get stuck into and explore if you haven't done so already. So what are your thoughts on Broken Helix for the PlayStation 1? Did you happen to own it and get the chance to play it back in the day? If so, what are your thoughts? Did you actually manage to finish it? Did you find all the plot lines in the game? And did you enjoy it? Make sure to share your thoughts down in the comments below. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated when I do release future videos, as I will be recording more videos re-exploring old classics and even getting to explore games like this that I never got to play back in the day, and sharing my thoughts and experiences with you all. And as always, make sure to keep playing those classic games and enjoying them, and also make sure to keep those gaming memories alive.
Helps fast. Eat lead, Dr. Smith.
Access denied.
What's this? It seems one of your men has entered the complex, Lieutenant. I told you no military personnel. Move your...
Set link.
Are you with me, Partner? Yes. Go ahead. Estimated time of arrival, about 20 minutes. Bitte, man. The rooster's in the hen house. Sorry, can't do. I've hit it with the quotes that's slowing me down. See you at 20, mate. Mole out.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
Groovy.
Access denied.
Interesting. No jet, no money, no interview. Fitz is getting upset! You've only given us 10 minutes.
Level 1.
I lost contact with the security robot. I wonder if any of your toy soldiers has anything to do with it. You now have less time to meet my demands. Your time is up. The media's on its way, and the money and jet are here. Please be reasonable. Just 5 more minutes. No more deals. Project Broken Helix will now be destroyed. No, wait. Ah!